Hello there, it has been a busy week. Just to give you a quick recap of what I've been doing, this is me in the middle of filming an exhibition for a gallery that I work with called Finner Park in Llandudno in North Wales. Beautiful gallery, amazing mixed summer show that I did. It's for August 2025, so that's one of the things that I was doing this week. And another thing is I had an amazing guest, Joe Morzuk, on my podcast, Painting Insights. So this is the promo that I made for him, which I post on Instagram. And just one of the few things as far as a job that I had to do was just to cut together this promo. It may seem like small things, but this is all to explain why I haven't uploaded a drawing video of ink stuff yet. I went to this amazing place called Junkyard Jam, run by Spray Days, and this is some incredible artists, as you can see, all kinds of different work going up, and it was great. I filmed as much as I could and just tried to give a bit of a roundup of everything that was going on, even though I barely caught a glimpse of all of the work that was happening because I had to leave halfway through the day to meet a friend of mine who I'm hoping to interview soon, because he's a bloke in his 90s and he's got amazing stories, and I want to do a series of interviewing older people. Anyway, look at this work, incredible. So that's why I had to leave this event early, is because I want to do that interview series soon and I want to get it started off strong. And this older chap that I'm talking about is a farmer who found an ancient artifact in one of his fields, and it's amazing. It's kind of, I don't know, something like 50 BC it dates back to, because archaeologists wrote in a book a whole chapter about it. This is my older brother. This is what he was doing at this Spray Days event, the Junkyard Jam, and everyone does their own style of things, but my brother always has a very unique approach to how to do art, and he always offers something which has his own voice. And for one day, I just think this is an absolute incredible amount of work. I always love what he does, whether it's digital or spray or paintbrush or whatever it is, or pencil. And I'm not a massive fan of digital artwork. I'm very critical of people's digital work, but my brother's I really like, and not because it's my brother's, but because I just love it. Now, these jerky edits are because I've set this to music. It will be on Instagram for my brother's account, maybe for the Spray Days. I'm not sure if they want to post it as well, but I've made it for everyone to enjoy. Great work, and that's the finished piece that my brother did, which is I think it's loosely based on Manchester. It could be Preston actually, but I think it's Manchester, and he's got his name in there as well. So these are a few of the other artists. Just great work, really interesting bunch of people, and it was just really good fun to be there. And next year I'm going to try and make it for the whole event so that I can capture some of the finishes, because some of this work wasn't finished, and at the very end this is what happens to the work. It all gets destroyed in the junkyard, which is amazing, I think, really cool. So aside from that, which I edited this week, so I went to that on Sunday, this is Betws. This is a beautiful little town in North Wales that I went to because I have a piece that I'm putting into a mixed show, and what I'm doing at the moment is walking to where my piece is, which is in a gallery that's been in there for over a year. So I thought I'll take it out of that gallery and put it into this mixed show instead. So this is the place where it is. The Royal Oak Hotel has this lovely restaurant and bar at the side of it called The Stables. It's part of the hotel. It's got this amazing seating area outside. It's always really busy, except for this point here because it's early morning. And mine is one of the first pieces up there, so that's my landscape piece. Anyway, that's what I've been doing this week. On to what I'm doing now. So that's the reference in the top right hand corner, and I'm going to try to draw it just quickly because my brother's visiting at the moment. We had a lot of things to do. We went out to the beach, and we're going today that I'm recording this audio. We're going to a few places today. We're just going out and having a day out and making the most of his visit. So I had to get this done as quick as possible. Not that it's unimportant, but I mentioned in a previous video that I don't want these videos to be really labour intensive. And there is one drawing which I've been trying to do over a few days that's taking a bit longer, and that'll be the next video that goes up. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because you will see the next video come up pretty soon. that I've put a lot of work into, whereas this is just as quick as I can get it done, really. This is just before I went to bed. It was about midnight, maybe 1 in the morning, that I thought I'd do this quickly, just get a quick drawing done so that I can edit it today. So this was early hours this morning / last night. And when I go for walks to the promenade, there's lovely little kind of wildflower or weed-like plants that are growing out in the dirt along the side of the walk, and sometimes I photograph them. That's what the reference is on the top right, and I just think it's a really interesting bunch of leaves and shapes that it makes. Now, I don't draw it exactly the same, but I thought it would be interesting for you to see the reference that I base this drawing off. Even if I do divert, I'm obviously getting a lot of inspiration from the shape of it and from the type of leaves that I'm looking at and trying to describe. Now, it's not an amazing drawing, but I thought I could maybe try to give it some depth with a bit of grayscale, and I don't know how this is going to work out. So whilst I'm doing it, I'm putting a bit on and thinking, yeah, that's helping a little bit, but it's not quite there, and trying something else and trying to push it around a little bit. But I know that I've got a bit of a deadline to get to bed because I've got a full day today. So that's the plan, is to try and get something which is worth watching for you guys, and I hope it is entertaining enough and worth watching, because it's not incredible art, but it is interesting to do things like this because it helps push you into reference material that otherwise might get overlooked, and also how to divert from reference material. In fact, I did a better version of diverting from references, which I'll put a link in the top right hand corner now, and that is basically how I made a diversion from reference material based on some wood sculptures that I saw in a doctor's surgery that I go to. So now, yeah, I've got a thicker nibbed black ink pen from Pigma Micron, and I add some of that in there, and it's interesting, but it's not quite there, so I keep adding bits and pieces and trying to darken some of the greys. And it's a bit of a push and pull, and a lot of the drawings and paintings that I do are like this because you discover things along the way, and it's not a paint by numbers where you just know exactly where to go and then it's done. So I fill in the black areas, or I fill in the space in between the leaves completely black, which initially I didn't do because I just decided it'd look better. Instead of trying to suggest some areas of black and trying to do shape design, I thought it was probably just better to push it all the way into black and then get some black underneath the leaves as well, just to give it that sense of depth and that weight to the leaves. And then I got another grey pen, another grayscale brush pen, which is darker. And the other grey pen which I used was a chisel tip. One's a bullet tip and one's a chisel tip on it's a dual tip pen, and this one is just a single tip. This is a brush pen. It's a much smaller pen, but it makes just as big marks because it's a brush, and it's a darker grey. Not very dark, but dark enough that it's a cooler grey than what the first one was, which is a warm grey. I don't know if you can see the difference, but that adds a bit of interest to me. So you can see the warm grey going down with the chisel tip now, and I'm trying to go back and forth to really give it a bit of depth and see how to give shape and body to these leaves and really try to add something. Whereas before I thought, I'll just do grey on some bits. I realised as well here, I'm just thinking, wait a second, this might be out of focus. So I quickly zoom in, refocus. I always do this. I never realise how out of focus the camera is, so sorry for that. But I've got it in focus now, so you can see the mess I'm making, and go back in with the brush pen to try and add a bit of depth in the wrong places, so it's not really based off the reference where I'm adding shadow. But I thought it was interesting and worked out as kind of a nice quick little drawing. I'm going to do both sides of the box. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you very soon for the more complicated drawing that I'm working on currently. All right, bye.